think this is a good time to bring up a video that I wanted to comment on. And it just goes to show you that I hate some of how this economic news is tracked and how things are done and the kind of policymakers that we have. This we have some comments from the former New York Fed president. We're gonna watch this and then we're gonna yell at him because it feels good to yell every once in a while, and I hate this thinking. Absolutely hate it. When people say policymakers are out of touch, it is because of people like this. Okay? It's because of this obsession with doing things that seem to have worked, but really it's just misattribution error and giving credit to the wrong causes. We're going to turn over to this video now. All right. We're going to turn it over to it. And yeah, let's talk about it. Let's listen.
Right. Before I get to your calls about what the Fed needs to do here, let me just ask you this. Has the Fed lost the thread here in that we have people coming on and saying, well, now after the Fed's pivot, inflation is still 8.5%, and the market is pricing in cuts. You have one Fed official after another coming on and saying, we're going to stay tight for a while here. Is the Fed lost the narrative here, Bill?
Well, I think the market's misunderstanding what the Fed is up to. The market's taking the notion that they're going to slow down the rate of tightening to imply that the peak in rates is going to be lower and the Fed's going to cut rates in 2023. I think the Fed's going to be higher for longer than what market participants understand at this point. I think basically people misread the last Powell press conference. They took the notion that we might not get 75 basis points in September as implying that the Federal Reserve is almost done.
So what they're talking about here is that Fed is going to keep rates tight, and that means that they're going to keep increasing rates for the foreseeable future, despite record job growth, or maybe because of record job growth and prolonged inflation. Now they're focusing on the year-over-year trend. The year-over-year trend showed a marked increase of inflation, but we're seeing month-over-month of it starting to go down.
I don't think the Federal Reserve is almost done. They know that they have to do quite a bit more to push the unemployment rate up to generate additional slack in the U.S. economy. And if you look at underlying...
Okay, we're going to listen to that again. Okay, we're going to listen to that again. Go back. All right. And this is important because it's the view of what Volcker enthusiasts have. It's the view of probably what Jerome Powell has and what Republicans want and capital wants. Okay, let's listen to that again.
I don't think the Federal Reserve is almost done. They know that they have to do quite a bit more to push the unemployment rate up to generate additional slack in the U.S. economy. And if you look at underlying...
All right. You don't need to watch the whole thing. They basically just said this man, this former New York Fed president, William Dudley, just said that in order to tamp down inflation, workers need to take a hit in the pants. They need to get royally fucked. And unemployment needs to go up above 5% to tame inflation. They want millions more people unemployed in order to bring labor prices down. Rather than focusing on how capital can reconfigure itself to bring down prices, they want you to lose your job. They want me to lose my job instead of trying to reconfigure the economy or deal with a tight labor market or, I don't know, let more people into the country to work. They want us to lose our jobs in order to bring prices down. That should not be acceptable to anybody. But that is what people that like Paul Volcker, that is what people that are on the conservative side of economics, that is what what people that own capital want. Because right now, they're taking a slight hit. And they don't like that. That's what the fight over the carried interest loophole was about. That's what the fight against having stock buybacks taxed is about. That is what this is all about. When labor has an advantage, they're going to take that away and make your life more difficult and harder so they can keep more of their money. And it's disgusting. Shouldn't be accepted by anybody. And the fact that a former federal board chairman. No, I mean Volker. Okay, so this is a good point. So North Countryman is asking me, did I mean Greenspan? Volker is a Democrat. No, I mean people that push up capital. I'm not talking about a party right now. I'm talking about capital. And Paul Volcker is credited with tamping down on inflation between 76 and 84. Crushing it. But by crushing inflation in the way that he did, it crushed labor and made millions of people unemployed. And that's what they wanted to repeat because capital is starting to take a hit. It is a people that may think, there are some people, I'm not saying everybody is on this anti-labor right now. There are some people that wrongly think that Volcker is the reason why inflation was tamed. It wasn't. The reason that we had inflation in the 70s is because of successive energy crises. We had one energy crisis after another, and we had a depressed supply of energy, which is what we're kind of experiencing right now. And that caused prices of everything to skyrocket. As energy goes, so does the rest of the economy. And now that we're seeing gas prices come down because production is coming back online, we're seeing prices start to go down despite a tight labor market. The goal of the Fed should not be considering full employment to be 5% of unemployment. We've proven over the last 4 or 5 years that we can get unemployment lower and get more people into the workforce and make them productive members of the society. And bring them into society, make them whole, help give them purpose, help make them not just productive, but happy individuals with a sense of purpose, of the ability to provide for themselves and their family. Really, full employment should probably be at 3%. That should be the new goal. But they want to see millions more people unemployed just to bring prices down. I say no. That is not acceptable, and I'm not going to stick for it anymore. I know that all I have is a small platform right now. I have my vote, and I'm going to use them as I see fit, and I think everybody here should as well. Call them out on their bullshit. Millions of people being unemployed is a detriment to the stability of the country, and people that are cheering for that just to see some prices decrease are part of the problem and are making things worse and fanning the flames of fascism to a degree. Inadvertently, but that's what they're doing.